Hey, thanks for joining. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and today we're going to make this cute kind of get well card with this turtle upside down. It says, "Hope you're back on your feet soon," and then on the inside it's wishing you a quick and complete recovery. So it's really a simple card to make. We're using this great back on your feet stamp set. I love these. If you look at my blog, I made a couple other cards with the other images, so I love them all. But anyway, let's get started. So I'm using crumb cake and granny apple green, and I have all my pieces cut out. Let's first do our stamping, and actually I'm stamping the background. I'm using Versamark ink on this background, so let me just get that going first. So I have my turtle, and let me just clean him because I did stamp him. Well, let me stamp him in the black first, and then we'll clean him and stamp with the Versamark. This way we can only clean him once. So let's get him on that little circle. And I did my pre-cutting of the dies. So this is the stitched shapes, this one, and it's the second largest circle. So it has the stitching on it. And then the background is the layering circles, which really coordinates nicely. So it's the third largest circle, and I just kind of laid them out. You could do a bigger one if you wanted a bigger background. And then finally, this is from the rectangle stitched framelits, and it's this one. So it's nice to have these. These are kind of a staple in my my craft room, because I use a lot of layers, and I like to have focal pieces on, you know, an oval or a rectangle or circle or something like that. So let's get him inked up first, and then we'll stamp him right on this circle. And it is a little tight, but I didn't want to hide the background too much. So, and while we have this black ink out, let's do the sentiment. Hope you're back on your feet again soon, which I think is just perfect. So we'll stamp that down. And let's keep going and stamp the inside sentiment. Now the inside sentiment I got from the Healing Hug set, and I thought this was great, wishing you a quick and complete recovery. This one as well, or sending you healing vibes. Any of these would be good, I think, for this card. So let me get the inside. I don't have one out. I always have a bunch of these pre-cut, so let me just get one, and we'll put that aside. And we might as well just, you know, get our stamping done. So wishing you the quick and complete recovery. Let me get that one going. And I think I did this upside down when I was testing it before, so let's make sure. And we want our card to go this way. Have you ever done that, where you have your card front going one way and your inside the other? That's not very good. Okay, so we're done with the black ink, and I'm using the Memento ink because I'm going to color him in with stamping blends. So let's put that aside, and then I'm going to do just a little floral piece, also from the Healing Hugs. This, and I'm going to just stamp it twice with the Granny Apple Green ink, just to pull it all together. So I'm going to stamp it, and then just stamp it again. So I think that's perfectly fine. So we'll put these away, and let me get my chamois and clean my turtle off so that we can stamp him with the Versamark. Now you can either stamp in the Granny Apple Green or the Versamark ink. So the Versamark, I always call it ink, but it's not ink, it's just a clear, but it will leave you kind of a watermark look on your cardstock or whatever you're using. So you can either do the Granny Apple Green or you can do the Versamark. This is also used for heat embossing. So, and I just really kind of stamped him around. I'm trying to make a background, so I wasn't, you know, trying to make him, you know, it's just random. I'm not trying to make it any special way. And you'll just see him kind of in the background. And I like him going off the page, and I think that's good. So let's put this away. And it just adds a little bit extra to the card, I think. So let's get coloring now. I'm using Stampin' Blends, and I'm using the Crumb Cake and the Granny Apple Green. So I colored the turtle himself in the light Granny Apple Green, and I'll probably just speed this up. So I did the spots on the shell in the dark Granny Apple Green, and then I did the in-between in the light Crumb Cake, and the bottom of his feet in the light Crumb Cake, and then the rim in the dark Crumb Cake. So I'm going to just speed this up as I color. Okay, so we've got him colored, and now we just have to put the card together. So let's get that going. I did take a piece of this Granny Apple Green ribbon. It's textured weave ribbon, and I'm just going to cut a piece of that and wrap it around the green before I attach it to the card, and kind of place things to see where I want it. And I do have to back this with the Crumb Cake circle, but just to get an idea. I think that's good. So I'm actually, usually I put adhesive on the back. I'm going to just use plain old Scotch tape. I found that's actually easier. But you can put tear tape or the snail or whatever you want on the back to hold it. But I just find this actually is just a little bit easier, quicker, and it does just as good a job. So good old Scotch tape. And then we can adhere this down to the card. I'm going to use liquid glue on that to the card base. So just put this down. Make sure the card's opening the right direction. And get that all centered nice. Okay, let's put the turtle right on the scalloped circle. And with that liquid glue, you can just really get it nice and centered. Okay, we're going to now use our dimensionals, and we'll put him down with dimensionals, pop him up over the ribbon. I like to put one smack in the middle. If it's small, I don't, but if it's, you know, a larger circle like this, it makes it nice so it doesn't sag. You know, nobody wants a saggy middle of their card. Okay. Don't want to put them upside down. That would take away from the whole idea of the card, right? So put him down, and then we're going to also put some dimensionals on the sentiment. Put the card inside, or the layer inside, and then I'm going to add a couple of these glitter dots in Granny Apple Green. It's so nice when you have all these little embellishments that match. Just makes it easy to pull it all together. All right, so I have the dots, and I'm just going to put 3. So I just put 3 along the side here. I'm going to do the same thing. And this is kind of the middle size. You could use the larger or the small. You could put them across the top or down the side, but for some reason on this card I went with down the side. And 3 is a good number. to add an embellishment. Okay, let's put our center our inside in, and we're done. Starting to get dark here and cloudy. Time for the afternoon downpour. I live in Florida, and it seems like lately every afternoon we get a downpour, which is good for my gardens. But you never know when it's going to happen. All right. So these are the two cards. They're the same, and I think they're really cute, and I hope you enjoyed this, and this is a great set to have. It's fun. I think somebody getting this card when they're not feeling so hot would really make them smile. But thanks for stopping by. I'll see you again. Bye.